That's the official one.
And we are back. Here I am, Fly Navarro, and I am joined with a big old group of guys. This is the Country Fly. No pun intended. I think I just realized that it was like maybe 5 minutes ago. I'm like, son of a bitch. This is Country Fly, man. All right, guys. Really quick, go through it and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'll tee us off. My name's Greg Robinson, one of the co-founders here of Country Fly. Excited to, chat with you today, Fly, and just share our story about, how we came together as a group. But I'll save that for some of the conversation. Let the guys introduce themselves.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go next. Fly, great to meet you. Eric Rogers here, based out of Charleston, South Carolina. One of the original founders of Country Fly as well. Big fan of yours, and excited for the conversation this evening.
Perfect. Next.
All right, Fly. So good to be here. I'm Dusty Holcomb. I'm out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and one of the original founders as well. And, I'm different than Eric and Greg in that the 50% of their blood is actually salt water, and mine is like 98% blood. So I'm the newbie here.
Hey, man, all you need is just a little bit of that, that itch, and you're part of the family. So we're all good, man.
All right. I'm getting a transfusion every day. I'm on the border with those guys. That's for sure.
I like it. Last but not least, we have
Uh,
Christian.
yeah, I'm Christian Massimillo. I'm based out of Charleston. I'm the actual newbie to the group. I just joined Country Fly and their team just a few months ago. But thanks for having us here today, and I'm excited for this conversation.
Man, no worries. I'm excited about talking about it, finding out a little bit about what you guys do, sharing it with everybody. I do have one quick question for Greg. First of all, we gotta give Greg some props because there's a lot in life, and there's a lot of days that we all hesitate to do certain things in life. And sometimes all you got to do is pick up the phone and ask. And Greg picked up the phone and he asked. He's like, man, I love your podcast. I'd like to talk about what we're doing. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he told me, I'm like, stop it right there. To be honest, when you called me, um, I was in the doctor's office, and
That's right.
I told the lady, I'm like, listen, I'm just gonna go for a little ride until it's my turn. She goes, no, no, you can't. You got to stay in here in case something happens. I'm like, I'm gonna talk on the phone. She goes, knock yourself out. I'm like, okay. And then you called, and I talked to you for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, we
So
had a great conversation. I appreciate that. It was such a just authentic introduction. And like you said, it was just a phone call, quick outreach, and what an awesome conversation we had long before it even got into business. So,
yeah, what did you end up talking to that guy I told you to talk to?
which one was that? Oh, yes. Yes.
Thank you. I just want to know if you had to talk to him.
It
Listen,
took me a minute, but yes.
yeah, listen, he's a pretty knowledgeable guy in the space, so I'm glad you got a chance to
It was a
talk
good
to him.
referral. Good referral.
Honestly, I don't even charge a referral fee. I really don't, man. It's one of those things. It's a
It's a pro
pleasure to,
bono. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
it's a pleasure that I get to, hook my buddies up, and yeah, that's what this industry is all about. It's all
I
about the fraternity.
Totally. And I'd love to, maybe just start by asking you to repeat something that you told me during that call that I think connected what we're doing with Country Fly and what you were built around. And you told me about the mission statement of your very first business. I just was hoping you would share that with the group here and
Oh,
just see how that
absolutely.
all came together.
And anybody who's listened to the podcast knows this, and um, I live by it. I live by a lot of really cool things that I've picked up over life. But my first business that I still own, and it's kind of like my parent company. It's my holding company. Uh, our job every day is to introduce fishing to one new person every day. That's my goal. It's really simple. And my girlfriend always, we do a lot of heavy talking, you know, and there's always this thing, how do you eat an elephant? Well, you do it one bite at a time. So don't go out there trying to, man, I want to connect 10 million fishermen. I want to connect 100 million fishermen. You can do it, but the only way you can do it is one person at a time. So if I can introduce fishing to one person every day, I'm happy. I'm literally I'm tickled pink that I can do it, and this is a perfect example. Today I get to connect with four you guys, and so today I 1, 2, 3, 4. That means tomorrow I can take off, but I don't take off
Almost
any
4 days.
fucking. I don't take off any days, man. I don't like taking off days. I get to talk about fishing. It's the greatest thing in the world. And I don't know, honestly, Greg, I don't know if I talked to you about it or it was somebody else I was talking to. Everything that I'm doing today, I asked for. There's nothing that I'm doing right now that I didn't ask for at some point in my life.
Mm.
And, um, when they say, be careful what you wish for because you'll get it. Uh, everything the fact that I get to fly around the world and talk to people and share this and how do I find new people and uh, people show up. He puts them in my life and we start talking. So yeah, that's how I look at it. And after our conversation, I really wanted to get you guys on and talk about your business because there was a couple things that you had said, the premise of what you were looking at, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the same thing, just different filter, if that makes sense. You know, It- the best way. I was talking to somebody last night. They're in the drone business, and they were saying, people call me, oh, I need to get drones, and he's like, well, what do you mean? What kind of drones? There's all. I go, oh, that's simple. That's like a fishing rod. He's like, a fishing rod? I go, people come to me all the time. Hey, I want to buy a fishing rod. What should I buy? Well, what are you gonna do? You know,
Yeah.
are you going to go sail fishing? Are you going to go snook fishing? Are you going to go blue marlin fishing? Do you want to go fly fishing for trout? Do you want to go fly fishing for tarpon? So there's so much that you have to look at that when I say I just want to introduce fishing to one new person every day, that can be anything, man. It could be stone crabbing, it could be lobster fishing. So when you reached out to me, that it was a perfect, oh, this is a great lens to look at and discuss about. So with that being said, let me stop being the center of attention, which I'm really fucking good at. Um, Somebody, I don't know who wants to be, roll the dice. Who wants to tell everybody what country fly is and what you do?
I'm teeing Eric up to start that, and then I'll be the guy that
But
brings the story home that says, this is why it worked for me.
thanks, Dusty, for putting me on the spot there. Since we are on Fly's podcast, go ahead and fuck yourself.
Won't be the first time I do it
So,
tonight either.
so
There you go.
Country Fly has kind of changed quite a bit from what we thought it originally was going to be and where it is today, right? I would say Christian is a great example of that. So Christian started as a member of Country Fly, and now he's part owner of Country Fly because he believed and saw what we were actually doing. He experienced what we were doing, and to his credit, he believed in us enough to say, I'd love to be more than what even you guys even offer and be part of the ownership group there. So that to me was like the biggest compliment I think we've gotten to date yet. Having a member say, I believe in you guys so much that, I want to be part of the ownership group there. But Country Fly. So to your point, our overarching goal is to introduce fishing and conservation and the fellowship that fishing brings to the table to new anglers. Rewind to probably about 8 or 10 years ago, Greg and I had been planning trips just for our friend group, kind of all over the world. Sometimes we're going down to Isla Mujeres in Mexico, sometimes Costa Rica. And every once in a while, we would ask friends to come with us. And then we started bringing friends on these trips and, posting pictures on social media and whatever. And then more friends would reach out to us and be like, wow, that looks amazing. I would love to go on a trip like that, but I am freaking scared that I would book the wrong captain. I'd go to the wrong place. I'd go at the wrong time of the year. Basically, I'd spend a whole bunch of money and not achieve anything close to what, we're seeing you guys doing there. So we said, okay. And then, each year when the people would reach out to us, we'd say, well, come with us next year. You're welcome to come join us, experience just what Greg and I are doing for fun as part of us being, really good buddies. So Greg and I actually met at a tech company that we worked at together about 15 years ago, based here in Charleston. We were just co-workers there. In the lunchroom, I think one day he was wearing an AFCO shirt or something. And I'm like, oh, cool, you like to fish? And me too. Can we be friends? And he checked yes. So, 15
Did
years
you
later.
pass him a little note?
Yep.
Little box
probably,
yes,
yep.
little box no. I like it.
Yeah. So, after a couple of years of starting bringing people, people's wives started saying, hey, I would love to come and participate in these as well. So we said, absolutely, bring it on. And I believe one of the wives were the first person to say, hey, you know what? We've had such an incredible experience with you guys. We've thought about nothing since we left the house. We literally hopped in an Uber from home. We've just been transported to this amazing location, had this wild experience. And, you guys could absolutely charge people for, a business like this. And, I think there's so many more people that can take advantage of this. So we said, that's an interesting idea. We noodled on that for another year. More and more people kept reaching out saying, hey, we'd really love to go on these trips. And damn if the first people to reach out weren't the wives, right? They caught the bug. They were the ones that, ironically, last year, one of our original founding members, her and her husband, their parents fell through in the babysitting, duties that they were going to do to cover for them to come. And the wife was just trying to figure out how she could come by herself, right? So, that was also a pretty good compliment to say, hey, sorry that, homeboy can't make it, but I'm going to try and come with, my damnedest. So, after that, we started thinking, okay, well, we really have something tangible here that we want to keep the whole goal about the experience. Country Fly we're not out there trying to be, making millions and millions of dollars. We're out there, similar to what you alluded to earlier, introduce the sport fishing and conservation world to new people on a daily basis. So our business model is pretty cool that we came up with as well. We're kind of like the Costco business model, right? The only money that we make, Country Fly, is through our memberships, and all the other experiences and everything that we coordinate for our members is all passed through cost. And we actually have, partnerships with people and get discounts and pass those discounts along to our members whenever we possibly can there. So we feel like we've created an awesome business model that's in the conservation, mindset, right? Because we want to continue this model and grow and grow and grow, as well as, obviously, having a business, we have to keep the lights on and pay the bills and stuff like that. But I'll kind of acquiesce over to Greg or one of the other guys to chat a little bit more. But, clearly I'm quite proud of where we began and kind of where we are today, as Country Fly is now.
Yeah, and Eric is totally understating what he and Greg, kind of built from this idea of like, we love to go fishing, and they took a lot of scraped knees and lost skin and stuff along the way. And I've been the guy that comes in later and had experiences of going big game fishing off the East Coast, and pay a lot of money, go a long way out, get one bite, and like, oh, that was fun, yay. But the problem that we started really chewing on, and we started this on the back of a boat. Like, I have this vivid memory of Greg and I on the back of the Tiger Fly down in Costa Rica, and talking about, why does big game fishing have to suck? Like, that was literally my question. Why does it suck to go on a good trip? And like, that was my mental model stepping into this. And then, Greg and Eric go on this trip, and I'm like, this was easy. This was amazing. I want to do more of this. And so really when we think about it, like that's the whole premise. It doesn't have to be hard, difficult, or overwhelming to go on a great fishing trip, have a great time, and really get to experience the bite, both literally and metaphorically, where you want to come back. And I'd love to hear Greg's thoughts on this, but I remember these conversations, and then we would just said, "Damn it, we need to start something." There's a here. There's a place to do this, and we met and spent a weekend together and said, like, we have an idea. Let's put together a plan and let's just go do it. Like, we can stand around and talk about this stuff forever, or we can go do something and get one more person and then the next person, and then the next person, and we can actually get people on the water. And I'm just going to, but Greg, I'm going to toss to you, but like this past 2 weeks ago, we're in Guatemala, and one of our members, stands up the last night at dinner and he goes, "I just have to tell you guys, I came in a big game hunter and I'm leaving a fisherman." And that was like, wow, dude, that is so freaking cool, because he got the fellowship, he got the experience, and he got to see what it's like to have a trip that is something that, his words, "I can see myself doing this for the rest of my life."
Hmm.
Cool. I like that.
Greg, like, what's your founding member story? Like, what do you remember?
I, I remember it all, right? I'm just like, I remember every catch, every pitch bait, every bite, right? Like, that's what excites me. And we talk about like introducing a new angler to fishing every day, right? Or us, just trying to expand, the sport, and introduce people to a better quality experience than I think a lot of us started with. And something that stands out to me is a lot of people get away from the sport because of a bad experience, right? And that's something I talk about a lot. For some reason I caught the fever even without having some quality experiences. I might be one of the insane ones, I'm not sure, but I remember, my wife being sent to Costa Rica for a work trip. I was like, of course I'm tagging along. I heard there's fishing down there. So, we spent every dollar we had in the bank account to drive over to the coast, get a hotel for the night, and book the cheapest charter we could get. I'll, of course, won't mention any names or anything, but I had the time of my life out there. But when I saw the head situation and how diesel fumated that room was, and what my wife was going to do to me as soon as she had to experience that on our 8-hour charter, I knew we were done and I was never going to get the opportunity again. And we only caught one sailfish that day, but you know what? I was hooked. And now I've been back to Costa Rica 8, 9, 10 times. But again, over that, we've learned that the experience doesn't have to suck. It doesn't have to, you don't have to walk into it blindly and hope that you're going to catch fish or not get, diesel fume choked out or whatever the experience might be. There are ways that, or hopefully people that can provide to you trusted experiences, curated experiences that, there's trusted captains and crews and quality boats, and help curate not only the best season, but help navigate some moon phases that might increase your chances at, a big bite number, or, chasing that big fish, whatever your dream really is. Of course, you can't put the fish on the hook, but you can help these people who are interested, get to that experience that they're chasing.
Mhm.
What's your story, Christian?
Yeah, so I wasn't a founding member of Country Fly. I just joined, like I said, a few months ago. But really, to answer your question, Fly, what is Country Fly? It says it right in our motto. It's your passion, our obsession, and the experience. That caught me right away. Actually, I joined Country Fly before I even went on the first trip with them because it resonated with me so powerfully. The experience is really what it's about. I used to go on these fishing trips, whether it be Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Nicaragua, could be Cabo, Hawaii, whatever it may be. And I was there for that one day to fish, and everything else was just a cherry on top, whether it be hiking or whatever. But it got to be very expensive to go and do that alone, right? To get a real good experience, if you're by yourself, you're spending $5,000 to go on one of those boats that's going to catch you the fish that you travel across the world for. The way I see country fly and what made me drawn to it is that I can go on a trip that's going to guarantee me what I came for, and everything else doesn't have to be a cherry on top. It can be like, a side quest. I can go golfing, I can go hiking, but I'm there, and I always was, for the one reason, which is to catch that big fish, or to have the experience that I traveled, hours to get to. So really just the structure of the company and what their beliefs are, meaning like that experience is truly like what this trip is about, is the reason that I was so, again, drawn to Country Fly and why I joined it. So to answer your question, I mean, it's your Country Fly is your passion, it's our obsession, and it's about the experience.
What kind of background in fishing did you guys have uh, leading into this? Now, I heard that some people dress up as fishermen in the lunchroom. That's a whole nother story. But what kind of like background did you guys grow up fishing, or was it something that you picked up along the way? If you could tell me a little bit about it, just so I understand. Some people didn't get the bug until they were in their 20s. Me, I kind of got it when I was 5. So, uh, Dusty, you're the one with the full radio setup. I'll let you start first. You have a daytime podcast job, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I have a podcast show.
Yeah, that's what I figured, man. You got the voice, you got the right camera, you got the right mic. I'm like, this motherfucker makes money podcasting, man.
Well,
I like it.
And I have a face for radio, so it's,
Fuck you and me both, man. Look at me. I look like Grizzly Adams, man.
yeah, but you got hair, dude. I got nothing. I got bowling ball wax and a shine.
Oh. I got one for you, and then we can finish with the story. Did you hear about that new medical study they were doing at Johns Hopkins?
No.
Yeah, it's about male pattern baldness. They said guys that are bald in the front, they're good thinkers. See, I'm starting to get a little shiny here. They're good thinkers. Guys that are bald in the back, they're good lovers. Guys that are bald in the front and back, they just think they're good lovers.
I thought that was Mahatma Gandhi.
I would neither confirm nor deny.
There you go.
So Fly, I grew up fishing, but always freshwater. Like
Okay.
we didn't have money to go out to the ocean, and my dad was, University of Georgia extension agent. So we just grew up on the water, but freshwater fishing, but it was every weekend. And, every weekend in spring and summer, and then every weekend in the fall and the winter, we were out doing some time of hunting. And so like when I first went on a trip with Eric and Greg, I identified as a hunter. That was my surname, Hunter. And like big game hunting, out backcountry, out west. I love that stuff. And, wanted to learn how to get on the water, love being on the water. But I like overwhelmed, like circle hook, J hook. I didn't know what any of that stuff was. And then Eric's like, well, you need to learn a knot. I'm like, dude, I just need to not fall off the boat. Like, that's what I need to do. But I was always passionate about being outdoors. So that would probably be what I would say is my obsession is being outside, pursuing something. And now it's the freedom. And the part I love the most is about mile 10, where you lose all connectivity. Like nobody can touch me for 12 hours. And we were down there a few weeks ago, and a client of mine runs a company. He's like, hey, I need 10 minutes. I said, you got 8, because in 10 minutes, I'm losing service and I'm not talking to you for 12 hours. Like, speak fast. So that's my background. That's my story. And now I identify as a wannabe big game fisherman. And so I'm a latchkey kid for the other 2 guys, or other 3 guys.
Welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. My history with fishing is pretty simple. It's just, recreational addiction. I think about it everywhere I've been since being a tiny kid, going on vacations to like Hilton Head Island, I would spend every waking hour crabbing over the pier. Have a fishing rod over the pier, right? I didn't know what I was doing, had the cheapest gear. I was so proud of it, though. I'm sure it was tangled in a hot mess and never quite right. But those were like my favorite moments. And then I'd go visit my grandparents, and they had a small 1 acre pond, and I'd spend every waking hour trying to catch brim or the one big catfish in the pond, which I remember catching on a fly rod with a piece of cheese on the hook. I must have been 8 years
Oh,
old, right?
old
Like, but
cheese.
again, I remember every bite, every cast, every pitch, right? And just being able to now see other people experience that is like culminating this journey for me, because I've caught a lot of fish. I don't know the numbers. I never kept a log, right? But I've just been passionate about it, and now we just get to share that, I think, with more and more people, and that's the catch now. So it's just been a fun progression for me.
Christian,
Um, yeah, so I'm a little different.
we know that. You don't have to hide it,
Understatement.
man. We know you're a little different, man. But we like you anyway.
There you go. Appreciate that. Lucky too. The fishing for me is more of a sport. I've always been chasing the sport, like the biggest fish. I'll tell you a quick story. The first time I went fishing, I was with my dad, and we were in a brackish water pond off of Kiowa, South Carolina, and we're fishing for these, like, I don't know what they even were, maybe like carp or something like that, and we were catching a couple of them, and I remember I had a bait in there, and an alligator, like a 10-foot alligator, ate my bait, and I was on this tiny little spinning rod, and this was like an hour and a half fight. We didn't know what it was. And we bring this alligator, and he comes up, and it breaks the hook. And I was so excited. And I asked my dad, and I'm like, well, what's bigger than that? Let's go get him. And my dad was like, blue marlin. So the next fishing trip I did after that was marlin, and I've been hooked ever since.
Holy
So
smoke. You went from alligators to marlins, man.
it's a weird progression, I know. But once the sport aspect of it came into play, where it was a challenge and you were going to hunt it, you had your team with you, because you can catch a fish off the dock by yourself, but you're not catching a marlin by yourself. You have a team, you have a boat, you have a plan. Yeah, that's what it's about for me.
Cool. Eric,
Mhm.
Yeah, so I grew up on the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland. So my dad and I, our thing growing up was absolutely fishing. I was super fortunate. We did a lot of like striper fishing. And then in college, I was also super fortunate. My roommate in college, his family had a sport fishing boat and a team that they did a lot of tournaments up and down the East Coast. The Insano was the name of the boat, the Williams
from
family.
Merrill's Inlet?
Yep, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Man.
You know,
Dude, I
Denton
know.
Williams and Seth and
Dude, do
Jeremiah.
I know Denton Williams? I fished the
Okay.
Georgetown tournament with him.
Yes, sir.
He offered me
Wow.
50% of his pirate ship in Merrill's Inlet. He goes,
Denton's,
I will give you 50% of my company if you become the peg leg captain on there, but you don't have to cut your leg off. And I'm like, what a great business opportunity. But I had other goals. I had just started my business and I was still freelancing to pay my bills. Denton, he won my Chubb tournament a couple years back.
yeah,
That family is a great, great, great family. All three boys, the mom, everybody. And Denton is a working motherfucker, man.
they are the absolute best. Fly. You could not have said it better. You know, Denton literally, grew up from nothing in Monroe, North Carolina, built his business from one dump truck up to the, insane company he built in Blue Max dump trucks, and could not have been a more humble, awesome person in life. The whole family, as you know, are just very special people. So
Yeah.
anyway, so living with them really accelerated kind of my offshore knowledge and journey, because Seth and Jeremiah were my roommates, so I just soaked in everything that I could possibly learn from them. And then fast forward a couple more, years after that, had a little bit of success in tournament fishing. Had some, good opportunities to fish with the sushi boat out
Okay.
of the Outer Banks. We won the Big Rock in 2023, which was an incredible, experience. And just, if anybody gets a chance to just go to the Big Rock, it's such a great family-oriented tournament. And they're very obviously it's a nonprofit tournament, so everything goes back to the local community to support that. But through that, and then obviously having awesome friends like Greg, where we're both like, we got to get the hell out of the U.S. and go fishing somewhere, and just having the will and the way to make stuff happen over the years has been an absolute blessing. So very, very fortunate. I happened to be watching your session with Ryan from Release Marine the other
Oh,
day. 1 year ago today, I was at Marty Bates's house. We were fishing with him in Cape Verde, Africa. Got to experience that whole situation down there with Sam Peters' boat, the Release Man. And your question you asked Ryan that he knew halfway the answer to. Marty always runs a Moyes Sumo on his right teaser there, which I happen to have one sitting right here because he got me turned on to those, and I will
oh,
never not use a Moyes Sumo as my teaser
oh,
on the right side.
oh, look what I have here for everybody to see.
He does sleep with it. Like, don't let him lie.
Oh yeah,
I,
TSA hates it when I go through the checkpoints for that thing. They're like, "What
bro,
kind
Is
of
that the
weird stuff are
one?
you into?"
you know what's really bad is heads that have the inserts that are lead.
Hmm.
This
If
one
you,
does. Yep.
yeah, anything with a lead head, the
Mm.
inserts, man, they flag it so fast.
Yep.
They flag it so fast. That's why I try not to travel with lures. I people give me lures. I go to places. I get I'm sure you can see them hanging all over the
Mm-hmm.
place. People give me lures, and sometimes I leave and I'll go on like 3 or 4 stops. So I know I've got to carry this lure and I love it. It means the world to me when somebody gives me a gift. That's why I put them up to show everybody. And sometimes I pull them, sometimes I hold them because it means, I got a box of lures from Steve Coggins. He
Oh wow.
I got the greatest opportunity. There's a tournament I fish in Japan for the last 4 or 5 years. The governor invites me to go over and I bring 2 or 3 guys and they usually bring a guy or two to ride along with me. And as we were getting ready to check out of our hotel, I brought one of my business partners with me. We've been friends since we were 6, and I'm like, listen, me and you we're doing some of this fishing work together. He's in IT. That's what Greg and I were talking about. We've built this AI platform for fishing. I'm like, you better come and look at what some tournaments look like. I'm gonna take you to Japan. And I take him to Japan and we go to all the different restaurants I know and introduce him to my buddies. And the next thing you know, we're in the lobby, Fly Navarro, and I look and I'm like, oh shit, do I owe this guy money or something? Who is he? Because a lot of these lure makers, you know their names, but you never see their faces.
Yep.
And I go, yes, sir. And he puts his hand out. He goes, yeah, my name's Steve Coggins. I'm like, well, get the fuck out of here, man. That's cool. So we spent a week together and well, listen, I've become instant friends with him. We stay in touch all year long. I'm trying to get him on the podcast, but he's so busy. He's like, man, this is the time of my season. Everybody's going fishing. I got to get him out before the summertime. I'm like, listen, I get it. Go do what you got to do. You got an open invite whenever you want to jump on and tell your story with me, and we can catch up and tell stories about how we ate good food in Japan. I like hosting people over there because the food's so good, the people are so nice. So and big shout out, Denton. Man, that is one cool motherfucker. That is one of those guys that I wish I would talk to more often. I really would. Just because he's a cool dude. Every time I talk to him or I see him on the dock, yeah, he's just a good dude. I don't know. I've known him for about 10 years now. I had a friend of mine from Savannah was running the boat, and he's like, "Hey, do you mind being my deckhand for the Georgetown tournament?" I'm like, "Sure." And I'm walking down the dock, and somebody's like, "How did he get you to fish the tournament?" I go, "Well, he picked up the phone and he fucking called me. None of you motherfuckers are doing it." And I tell everybody, pick up the phone and call me, because if not, I'm going to stay at home and work. There's always work to do. My inbox is never, never empty. And you guys, and we'll get back to the business, but that's part of business. You never want your inbox to go empty. So there's always something in the inbox. So I can always work. But I can always make an excuse to go fishing or go somewhere, you know. I've worked out some really cool schedules of, okay, if we're gonna leave the dock at 6, I can get up by 4. I can start doing my emails. I can answer all my messages. I know who to get to do what I need them to do, and I'm off. And then once we come back into fishing, you answer all the emails at the end of the day, and then you make your phone calls, and then you sit by the pool and have one of the blue drinks or green drinks, depending on where you're at, and you enjoy yourself. So
I
that's
think we can. I think we can read between the lines, Fly. I think we can extend an invite to you on one of our trips.
Yeah.
hey man, anytime. All you got to do is call me up.
We
Listen,
got it. We'll pick
just
up the phone.
you just tell me where I got to wire transfer the money, man. Poof, I'll go. Here's the thing. I don't ever turn down opportunities because you stop getting invites.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
but I also do appreciate that everybody is respectful of my time, you know. But yeah, I never turn down an opportunity to go fishing. No. And to go traveling, more so. I love to travel. That's the best part, you know, when I mean, you guys could very easily run charters out of South Carolina or North Carolina, but you guys know you want the traveling bug. You want to experience the different worlds, the different foods, and that's where I've been very blessed in my career. I started because I spoke Spanish, and then later on, after 20 years bouncing around the Caribbean and Central and South America, I took a job running a boat in Hawaii, and then I'm like, ooh, look, followers that catch blue marlin in Japan or New Zealand or Australia or China or wherever. I don't care. And then I started running into people at the boat show or at ICAST. Hey, will you come fishing with me and fill in the blank? What's the airport code and when do you want me there, man?
Mm.
I worry about everything else later. And I've met so many cool people doing that. It's, I had a guy that sent me a message on Instagram. Hey, do you want to come to London, Ontario and come fishing? I'm like, cool. What airport? And I showed up. He goes, I've invited about 20 people. Nobody's even returned an email. And you actually, not only did you return the email, but you came up. Man, we went trout fishing, we went salmon fishing, we went pheasant hunting, we did all kinds of things. And I met some great people, ate some great food, and that's why I call it a fraternity, because it doesn't matter where we go. We always run into people. If you don't know them now, in 10 minutes you will. So,
Mm.
like you said, hey man, you got an AFCO t-shirt. Will you be my friend? Check yes. I listen, I don't even give you the opportunity. Hey, you fish? You're going to be my friend. It's like that guerrilla marketing. Hey, I'm opportunity knocking. Open the door, bitch. You know? So,
Totally.
I've
you
got a
like,
funny story for you about meeting people everywhere. So when we were in Guatemala 2 weeks ago, we were on the hooker, the world famous hooker, fishing with Captain Jonathan down there, and we're in the middle of the afternoon, and it's probably about 30 minutes of fishing left. And he came down and he's like, "Hey, Eric, So one of our other boats broke down, and they're having transmission issues. Do you mind if we wrap it up a little short and go pick up their customers and give them a ride home? And I said, absolutely. I'll tell you another story about where we got help this year in the Big Rock from other boats, but said absolutely no problem. So we go run about a mile over to where this other boat is, and we go, stern to stern, and we pick up these three dudes from Canada, and they hop on our boat and come in the salon. They were very polite. They're like, "Do you mind if we come in the salon? Would you prefer we stay out
Of
here?"
course
And we're
they're
like, "Oh,
polite.
yeah,
They're
come on in.
Canadian,
We got
man.
cold beers, we got AC, and we're on the fucking world famous hooker. So please come inside and enjoy this amazingness with us." So in the 1 hour ride that we took with these three Canadian guys, not only did they sign up to be members of Country Fly with us, we haven't even announced our next trip that we're doing, which will be Kona the first week in July. All three of these guys signed up for the Kona trip and sold out the whole Kona trip just for themselves in a 1 hour ride. They became members. They're going with Christian and I to Kona. And these three Canadian guys are so excited. They like text us almost every other day being like, we're so stoked. Like we're watching like YouTube videos and we're going to do the Kona Throwdown tournament with them. So they've never done a Blue Marlin tournament before.
Who are you
We're
fishing with?
introducing kind of the world of, Kona fishing, as well as, one of the marquee tournaments that has, tremendous history in Kona. And we literally met these guys in the middle of the freaking ocean in Guatemala 2 weeks ago.
Usually it's a Cuban floating out in the middle, but
Right.
Canadians are cool people too,
Not on
man.
Wrong
that
ocean. This is the wrong ocean.
Yeah. What who are you fishing with in Kona?
Captain Chris Donato on the benchmark.
Old Grander Marlin, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
GT Lures. Yeah, Chris Donato's super, super nice guy. It's funny because I got a call one time by some mutual friends of Chris and I. I did not know Chris was there, but I have a friend of mine. I was in Dubai fishing a tournament. I was there with my business partner from Saudi. Hey, I got some friends in town. You want to go eat lunch? I'm like, sure. And we pull up to lunch, and who is it but Chris Donato in the middle of Dubai? So it just again, it's that fishing. It brings everybody together. And here's a guy from Hawaii and guy from South Florida, and then you got a bunch of guys from Dubai. You got somebody from Saudi, and it's such a small world, and that's what makes our industry so cool.
Yeah, Chris and I
So
actually shared a mate. Funny story there. So Brad Kicklighter was his name. That one of Chris's videos where he caught the 900 pounder. Brad was the blonde haired kid on the wire there.
okay,
So Brad mated for Greg and I on my 40th birthday, which was in 2020 during the pandemic. And I can't prove this, but I'm damn sure that Brad gave us all COVID on that trip, because the day after that, like all of us got like
yeah.
violently ill and had
And
COVID.
I
He
bet
was the
you
only one
told
black.
you told everybody you jumped off the toilet seat too, didn't you? I swear that COVID jumped up and bit me off the toilet seat. No. What now was that the official announcement of your Kona trip right now? Did you just announce it here? Or did you make the announcement before and it's already sold out?
That one sold
It
out.
got it sold out all in the same boat ride with those Canadian guys, because
Mama.
that one. So we do different types of group trips. Some of them are smaller, more intimate, like we're doing a tournament like this. Some of them are larger, like we did in Guatemala. We had three boats for the week, fun fishing. We brought 15 people down there.
Okay.
This particular one in Kona just happens to be that more intimate, smaller one, where just five total people on the boat, Christian and I, and three members.
Yeah, and what's super cool about that is like when we started talking about this is we need to do more scouting trips and like for the big trips, right? So what better way to go scout out Kona is to go fish a tournament and oh, by the way, there's three members going, but now that's in our roster for the bigger trips. Like put three or four boats, and that's part of it, right? How do we get to experience all these places all over the world and expose others to it? Like, I don't know, Greg, how many fish did you catch in Guatemala?
maybe one or two because the other guys got sick of catching them by 11 o'clock.
Yeah. And Eric, how many fish did you rod in on in Guatemala?
Zero, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I wired probably 150 easily.
yeah. I had a few, and to Greg's point, it's like people were going, "I'm tired. Like, can you tap in, please?" Like, oh, yeah, sure. But it was so cool getting to see other people like get lit up. Now, full like I was telling my buddy Robert who was with us, I'm like, you're spoiled, right? Like you're never going to be satisfied with anything again. Like when you think of 20 billfish in a day as a slow day, like your life perspective is just different.
Yeah,
Well, we showed him 56 billfish in a day, which is insane.
Listen, somebody just caught 97 down there, I
Yeah.
think 2 days ago. So
we got to go back. We got
Gotta
records
go.
to beat.
That's right.
Yeah, no, but that's the whole part of sharing the experiences with everybody. Now, let's go around here and we can start with Greg or Christian. So far, what's been your favorite trip so far?
I'll start, Greg.
Sure.
Well, my favorite trip certainly was the one we just went on in Guatemala. I've never really experienced anything like that. I mean, over the course of 4 days, we caught 312 sailfish, 4 blue marlin, and 2 striped marlin between our crew, which was about 11 of us. So, like Dusty said, we got worn out pretty quick. Like, I was like backing off a couple fish there on the fourth day. But these guys, again, like I told you, like this was my first trip with Country Fly, and these guys set it up perfectly. They chose the perfect moon. They chose the perfect lodge, the perfect boats. So just that planning in advance made that experience just memorable. The only thing I'd say is that it's ruined fishing for me on the East Coast. So I think I remember. So I appreciate that, guys. But
That's how
I
we get you on
remember.
more trips.
Yeah, right now I'm forced to go. Now I'm forced to go to somewhere else to enjoy myself anymore. But that was insane. I mean, the good thing about a trip like that for me is not only did I have like a great time catching fish and the fellowship was excellent, but I learned a lot too. Like on the boats, watching these guys, everyone does it differently, but you can take home, what they have to offer, and it was an enlightening experience. And it's just the repetition down there, and you're really perfecting your craft because we're all fishermen, and that's what we want to do. We want to release the right way. We want to catch the right numbers, the best numbers, and this was a great opportunity to do so for me.
Cool. What about you, Greg? What's been your favorite trip so far?
I mean, they all hold their
You
place
got
in
to
my heart
listen.
for a certain
We're
reason.
not
But
talking about your kids, man. We're talking about there's got to be
I can tell you a
one.
favorite kid. No problem. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen,
No,
man.
in all
Don't do it on this
seriousness.
podcast, man. Nah, man, I'll get some
They might
kid
be
fucking
watching.
somebody will call me up and they'll motherfuck me one side and down the other, and I'm like, what did I do to you? You made my dad tell you he likes my brother better.
That's too funny. Well, there's definitely a location that holds a special place in my heart, and that's Costa Rica. One, probably we've been there more times than any other, and we've just dialed in that experience and had a chance to fish with so many boats and so many captains. But because of that and the fraternity that you mentioned, we have a family down there in a sense, and so when we go down there, one of my favorite nights or parts of the trip is not the fishing. The fishing's great, of course, but we usually host a big dinner on the beach at Coco's over there in Playa Herradura. And 10, 15 of the mates will come out. They'll bring their wives, their girlfriends, their kids. And, if we caught a bunch of fish that week, great, we'll have Coco's cook it up. But it's really just, we'll sit there and have a chance to dine with, the true stars of the trip, right? The mates, the captains, the crew who put in the hard hours changing oil at 2 a.m. before our our 7 o'clock departure, right? Like these guys, and then they come and give you a 5-star experience. And again, that's part of why we continue to fish with them and introduce more people to them, is because they know it's more than fishing. You have to provide an experience that people enjoy and want to come back to, regardless of how good the bite is. And they've just become family to us. You know, we have a Spanish term, which I'm sure is horribly English engineered or redneck engineered, but we say hermanos de pescados, and just share that with all of our, fishing brotherhood abroad, especially in the Latin speaking languages, but or countries. But that's what's most special to me, is Costa Rica and the family we've got there, the community we've built, and how we get to share both that with new members, but also, off water experiences as well.
Cool. How about you, Eric? What's been your favorite?
I mean, Cape Verde with Marty Bates was damn hard to beat, brother. That was one of the
Sam is happy you said that, by the way, just so you know. He just texted me. He's like, my man.
that was like, when you think of like a true adventure, growing up as a kid reading like Hardy Boys books and like stuff like that, like fishing with Marty and having no idea where we are going to end every evening because we're following the bite to whatever island we're closest to. And he's, boys with all these people that own these like little Airbnbs everywhere. And just a true adventure. Obviously, Sam's boat, the GNS, the Release Man, is a freaking amazing boat. Very privileged. Obviously, he completely refit the whole thing. Omni, new motors, new trannies, everything. That thing is sweet. And the fact that it sits right in front of Marty's house with his beautiful partner, Umbra, making immaculate meals for us. And if you haven't had the chance to ever go fish in Cape Verde, number one, the fishing is insane. But even if you get the opportunity to fish with Marty Bates, life-changing experience.
Listen, I want to give Marty a shout out too. Hey, dude, when are you going to answer me back and jump on the podcast? Every time I'll call you in a week. So, big shout out to Marty. He was one of the first people I called up. I'm like, come on, man. Because listen, I've known Marty for a long time. I like Marty. He's a great fisherman. Unbelievable. You'd put a bucket and he'll catch a fish out of a bucket. It's like, how did that fish fit in that bucket? It's not for me to figure it out. He caught it. Leave him alone.
Let's get a plan to go back down there next year, Fly, and come with us and shoot the podcast from his house.
Listen, Marty, are you going to answer my call then if I show up with a camera? No, I would love to do it. Yeah, let's plan something. And there's a couple of things I'm planning. I've been talking with some people about doing something in Cape Verde anyway. So
yeah, Josh and those guys too.
I had Josh on the podcast.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. Look, one of the things I enjoy about the podcast is I get to talk to all my buddies and they start telling me their fishing stories. And listen, rule number one in fishing, don't ever let the truth get in the way of a good story. So you tell a fucking good story. And Josh was telling me about the grander he caught last year. And I swear my right leg was jumping so much when he's telling me the story. I'm like, yeah. Come on. What else? What did he do now? What did he do now? So, no, listen, there's a bunch of good guys over there. With the World Cup, I get to talk to them every year. Again, I'm a 52-year-old kid that gets to celebrate Christmas in July. So it's really cool. Now, Dusty, what about you? What's been your favorite trip so far?
Good. I'm glad I got to go last. I had plenty of time to think about this. My favorite trip would be the trip a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago now, where we went from country flies and ideation to an activation. Like we came back and did shit. Like 2 weeks later, we had domains registered and we were getting stuff done. And so I love the trip for all the things that Greg talked about, the community, the people, the experiences. And then that trip set up me going back down 2 months later because my wife didn't go and hasn't been on one of these trips. And I took her back to Los Sueños and 2 other couples, and I got her out and getting my wife out there and going and having her go. I like this. So I love you guys, love you like brothers. But
Yeah.
when the wife is happy, life is good. And she was addicted. She's like, that's cool. And I got a little bit of grief about going to Guatemala this year. And she's like, when am I going again? When are you taking the kids? So the last 2 weeks we've been working on our next big member trip for next year. And we've got the dates locked in to go back to Los Sueños next year and in February. And my wife is like, I'm coming, and we're all going. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go, and it's good, but we may need more boats. Like that's the thing right now. If we don't need bigger
What's
boats, we need more boats.
what's wrong with that? Go get more. There's
No,
plenty of boats
there's
down there,
plenty of
man.
boats. Well, like on that, there's plenty of boats on that topic. We were talking with our members down in Guatemala, and one of the cats says, "Dude, I want to do this like epically big with this group every couple years." And so we started talking about it. So let's create a lifetime membership and every 3 years we're going to do an epic life member only big time trip. Cape Verde, you go to the Azores, go like, and so now like we've got a couple of people who came back from that trip who've signed up for a lifetime membership because they want that exclusive group of people that they know who they're going to fish with in epic places. They can plan for it. And so, like, my favorite trip is that trip where we founded, the next trip with my wife, and then the next trip I'm going to go on. Like, being able to do that, that's my favorite trip.
I like that.
Nice, nice. Now, are you guys strictly all offshore deep sea fishing, or have you tied in some other things, some inshore red fishing, tarpon fishing, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of our pro staff that came with us to Guatemala, Captain Juice down in Key West, he runs Shadowcaster charters.
Okay.
Big tarpon guy. I fished down there with him a ton. He's put me on my first tarpon, my first bonefish ever. So we do have a lot of folks who like to go down there to the Keys. And then we spent some time up in the mountains of North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina. So we built a nice network up there of freshwater fly fishing for trout. In fact, I got Dusty on his first trout, and I ruined him because he caught like a 4 pound rainbow. The first day he ever stepped in a river with a fly rod, and I'm like, dude, that will never happen again. So good luck with that.
Never say never.
It was this big. Like,
Can I offer you guys a suggestion and you guys talk about, and the only reason I want to offer this suggestion is I'm putting together a trip for a group of guys. It's about 12 guys, and they're going to be in my neck of the woods. So they're like, man, we'd really like to go catch a sailfish or go offshore. And I'm like, man, that's great. But when you guys are coming, it's kind of like weather can be a little bit iffy. And I really want to get you guys fishing. Does it really matter that it's offshore? Or you just guys want to catch some fish? And they're like, we just want to catch some fish. I go, okay. Right here in Palm Beach County, we have some of the best peacock and clown knife fish in Lake Ida and Lake Osborne. And I'm happy to introduce you to the guys that do it, and then you can put together. The only thing is you can only get like maybe 2 or 3 guys per boat. So you're going to have to, like I'm looking at 12 guys, I'm probably going to have to get somewhere between, 5 to 7 boats. But I don't have to worry about the weather. I don't have to worry about it getting blown out. And you get a lot of cool pictures. And as you guys know, you got a business that you got to market. Is key, man. Pictures is key. Content keeps the machine running. So, we can talk about that offline. I'll introduce you to everybody, and it's one of those really easy things because you fly into Palm Beach or you fly into Lauderdale, either or, and wherever you're coming from, there's usually a lot of flights. You come in, do 2 or 3 days of fishing. Um, you could probably find a nice, again, I don't know how you guys do it. I'm always kind of partial to getting big houses or getting a couple of houses and then having a big house where we do all the cooking in.
Mhm.
I love being the the kitchen person. I love to cook. I love to feed people. So that for me, that's half the fun when I go fishing and hunting. So anyway, and it's something different, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
we'd love to get introduced to that team. I still need to check a peacock bass off my list, so
Mm.
I got to
I,
come down there.
I've done it in Florida and I've done it in Panama, but I've never done it in
Huh.
the Amazon. I want to do it
I've
in the
heard, yeah.
Amazon.
Mm.
Actually, you know what? Let's talk about that because I'll tell you what my bucket list fish is. People always go, "What's your
Let's hear
bucket
it.
list?" My bucket
Yeah,
list fish is a golden Dorado in
hmm
Bolivia.
in
In
Bolivia.
Bolivia. Yeah, have you seen those?
We've got some contacts down in Argentina that'll go get them on the fly. So if we
Oh,
want to hook something up in Argentina,
I
unless you're chasing
I did
specifically a Bolivian,
I did Patagonia a couple years ago.
okay.
Oh my God. If you get the opportunity, if you're into fly fishing, Patagonia's the shit. But
Well,
spend a couple of days, and if you like to eat, which I do, spend a couple of days in Buenos Aires,
Mm.
and uh, we're all grown men here.
Yeah.
If you want to eat some meat, Argentina, Buenos Aires. Yeah. My girlfriend and I and a buddy, his wife and his two kids, every night I'd order, I don't know, 4 to 6 pounds of meat, different cuts, sausage, chicken, 2 pounds of tenderloin, 2 pounds of New York strip,
Pretty
grilled.
fairly priced too, huh?
Oh, oh my God, all that food and it's like $180.
Oh,
$180. Now, mind you, no, I don't drink. So listen, that's all for decoration. So everybody always, how come you have so much fucking alcohol behind you and you don't drink? I go, well, it's for decoration, man. I I want to look like I'm exciting. I'm really not that exciting anymore. So no, I just choice. I'm too, man, my body doesn't recover like it used to.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
amen.
Listen, I went out last night. I got some friends in town for business, and we all went out. And then after dinner, we just outside on the patio smoking a cigar. And I look at the phone. I'm like, "Fuck! It's 1 o'clock in the morning. No, I gotta get home." So I get home. Well, after being hanging out with your buddies, and you're fired up. Man, it's good to see them. Those are good stories. Hopefully, we can do this, this, and this together. I didn't get to sleep until almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hmm
And so I woke up. I had a friend of mine text me this morning. Hey, what's going on? I'm hungover. Hungover? What'd you do? I says I fucking stayed up till almost 3 o'clock in the morning. That's if I don't get the sleep. You know how well, again, I think I'm the oldest one on here. Uh, it's like a bell curve. Little kids need naps, and when you're in the middle, this thing, you just truck. Well, I'm starting to get on that back, and I need my 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, man. You
Yeah, I'm
know,
not.
yeah.
I'm not much younger than you, Fly, and I
what
protect.
what model are you?
I'm a 1976.
I'm a 73, brother.
Yeah,
I'm a
see, we're
70.
close. We're
You're still a Gen X.
yeah, still
Let me
Gen X.
show me your latchkey.
My latchkey, yeah,
I
I've
know
got
you.
one.
I know you got one. Where's mine? Let me show you man. The algorithms got me good online. I'm watching more Gen X videos, and all I want to do is walk around to boomers and millennials. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. That's why I'm grumpy, and I'm allowed to be grumpy.
Well, my algorithms got me figured out because all I get is Rage Against the Machine, 311, all the stuff like from the day. Uh, that's good. But sleep is everything. It's
100%.
it changes the world.
It really, really does. So what is on your bucket list, fish, each of you?
Well,
Dusty, you're talking. You might as well keep going, man.
I haven't caught a marlin yet, so I feel like
Hmm.
that's a necessary must do. Oh,
Listen, between you and I, there's this club you want to be a part of. I'll introduce you to them guys.
I'm all in. I'm all
Okay.
in.
We're right here.
Yeah, I've been fishing with these guys. They haven't caught me a marlin yet.
I want a
Golden Dorado-
refund. I want a refund.
I had a chance to go to Argentina back in 24 to go to Golden Dorado, and I had to bail a work thing. And I kick myself to this day because we were doing a hunting slash fishing trip, and I was going red stag and Dorado, and I'm like, damn it. I'd like to do that. I want to go. I want to experience, man. So Dorado and Marlin, those would be my. Those are the two.
Golden Dorado and Marlin.
Golden Dorado. Now I want Argentina just because I had that. I was fixated, but I don't care. Bolivia, I don't care. Wherever the fish is.
Yeah, no, fair enough. How about you, Greg? What's your bucket list?
I mean, I already admitted to the peacock bass, but I mean, the true king that I'm after is that black marlin.
Okay. All right. That's that. Listen, if you're gonna have one, that's not a bad one to have. How about you, Eric?
Same as Greg. Black is the last one on the list to check off for the billfish species, and a 4-digit one would be nice.
Oh, you greedy
greedy.
you greedy motherfucker. Oh, well, if I'm gonna have one, I might as well have 4 digits. Come
Well,
on,
I'm gonna go
man.
fish with Tim Richardson down in the reef. I
The
mean, that's what
the
Tim serves up. So
the old mackerel. Make sure you call him a mackerel, dude.
the mackerel. Oh yeah,
Me,
for
me
sure.
and Tim, a lot of people don't know. Me and Tim worked a cockpit together for Captain Cujo I was like 22 years old, 21,
Oh shit.
22.
Huh.
Yeah, way back in the day. And I'm going to throw him under the bus because I can. It's my podcast. We were, again, I'm like 21 years old. We're fishing the Bahamas Billfish Championship. Back then, you had to tag the fish for it to count as a release. Little
Mhm.
fish, like 200 pounds, jumps up, just being a real pain in the nutsack. Jumps up, I'm on the wire, midair, he reaches right over my shoulder. The mackerel does. He reaches right over my shoulder with the tag stick and goes right perfect. I mean, just perfect shot. Next thing you know, we get the fish gone, and I turn to him. I'm giving my man a compliment. Timmy, nice tag shot. And he goes, mate, that's the way we do it in Australia. And I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude. I'm trying to give you a compliment. You don't have to sound all cocky about it. It was a good shot. Listen, them little fish are tough, you know? So, but no, he's my boy. I like Timmy. Timmy's a good dude, good fisherman. He's done really well for himself over the years. And then wait a second, it keeps bouncing around. I haven't gotten Christian.
Yeah, I mean, my bucket list is similar to Eric's. I'm looking for that grander. I don't care what it is. It can be a black marlin, bluefin tuna, or an alligator. Um, I need that four digits.
My man throws out the fucking big old lizard fish. Man, 1,000 pound gator. Listen, as you can see, my skull's in the background. In my younger years, I used to do
Go
a lot more.
around.
I used to do a lot more gator hunting. 1,000 pound gator is a big motherfucker, man. That's a
Well,
big.
Christian's a big motherfucker.
Yeah,
When you meet him in
yeah.
real life, he's actually a yeti in a human form right now.
Wow. Now, listen,
I'm the grander.
I'm going to throw you a curveball here when you said you don't care as long as it's a grander. One of the largest fish I've ever weighed was a 771 pound tiger shark. Ooh.
Mm.
Wow.
And would that satisfy your itch? You're saying these guys are talking about black marlin. You came out and said anything. If you ended up with a nice tiger shark or, something that you can push that number on, would that satisfy your itch?
If I'm hunting it, yeah. If I'm going for it, I think that yeah, that would satisfy it.
Okay.
Um, but my history with sharks has been more that they're just bothersome, more so because you're catching them, when you're not fishing for them. But if I went
What
for a real mission, I think that would be something I'd be interested
what
in.
what happens if you accidentally caught an 1,100 pounder? You're gonna say, ah, no, thank you. That's
Well, at that
that's
at that point,
cheesy.
There'd be an
I'm
asterisk.
fishing for something
Yeah,
big.
there'll be
So
an asterisk like Roger Maris. How fucking awesome. You
it would
poser.
be.
You poser. You caught a 1,200-pound shark, but it
That's
was
a
by
great question.
it was by accident. Meh, meh. I don't count it. Okay, Greg and Eric, you two. You want to catch this black marlin? What's your You get the trip. Where do you want to try to catch it?
Greg, go ahead.
I, we were. Did you go to ICAST this year?
I did
Fly?
not. I was
Oh man,
where was I? I was not in town. I can't remember where I was.
there
I
was.
think I was in Tokyo, but I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Well, there was a guy there, first year exhibiting at ICAST. His name's Aaron. I can't remember his last name right now. I'm sure I got his card around. He runs Mozambique sport fishing. And hearing his story about how he's built his lodge, the trials and tribulations he's went through to get in supplies, to get equipment there, to maintain it, and just to hear him and see him light up about the access and the fishing and just doing it like 300 yards off the beach. And I think just the thrill of that adventure and that journey after chasing those giants is something that I'd have to put up there.
Was it Eric Johansson?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Okay. Yeah, I think
He's
that's
got
where
the
his
cat. He's got the cat down there, like a
Yeah.
34
that's
cat.
what they use down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to use that as my testing ground, but
Let me look
okay,
it up.
Mozambique, that's fair. What about you, Eric? Where do you, if you're gonna go take your pick, where are you gonna go catch your black marlin, your bucket
I
list
think
black marlin?
fishing with Tim on the reef is where it's
Okay,
going to happen. Yes, sir.
all right. Listen,
Or we go get a grander with Marty back in Cape Verde because those are also
yeah, but
quite.
you said black marlin, man. I'm just going by what you said.
Yep, that's fair. Yep.
Listen, if you're going to go, I hi- first of all, there's something about the Great Barrier Reef. It's kind of like Jurassic Park.
Yep.
It really, really is. You just kind of like looking around. It's like, ooh, what am I gonna see? And when you look at the charts and you see how the currents move, and you're like, whoa, there's some fucking monsters.
Yeah.
You don't know. At any moment, you might see something nobody's ever seen, and you feel very comfortable feeling that. You know, it's one of those things. There's a lot of places you fish that, man, I really hope I see a big fish. And then there's other places that, hey man, you may see something that nobody has ever seen before. There is that chance. It's one of those things when you're starting to doze off for that afternoon little snoozer after your high carbohydrate lunch. You don't want to snooze because you might miss the bite of a lifetime. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, uh, I'm always waiting for that bite. Now, I've had the great pleasure of seeing some fucking dandy bites, but there might be one that's going to be better. And I don't want to miss it. So, and that's one of those things in Australia. Hawaii's like that too, Cape Verde. But when you're in Australia and you're camped out there and you're hiding behind the reef at night and you talk about these parties, having a party on the beach in Costa Rica, but you're doing it on the back of a boat, uh, as you're
Mm.
rafted off, or you're just hanging with everybody, telling stories and having a cold beer if that's what you do. But hey, what'd you see today? What's this? What's that? You know? And it's like, oh yeah, we saw the one today. Tell us about, do you have it in the cockpit, or, you lost the sharks or broke off or whatever it is, and you get to sit there because you're camping. It's no different than going to elk camp. Anybody who's
Mhm.
elk hunted, man, I stalked that son of a bitch for 3 miles, and Just as I pulled back my bow, he winded me and took off. And that's the same thing in Australia, you know. It's yeah, I saw this fish, but somehow I got wrapped around a peck, and then now I'm fighting it down deep, and you know, Doo Brown got him. So, uh, hey man, it happens.
Well,
I man, and we know there's a shark problem here, but Australia is just as bad, man.
mm. Well, you made that come to life for me when you put it in the context of elk camp because I've done that right now. So now I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I can expect when I go to Australia, like that because
Yeah,
that elk camp experience is just it's amazing.
it's 100%, man. It's it's just, I, here's my biggest thing and why I like to hunt and why I like to fish. In my brain, I'm still a 16-year-old kid. I'm just a 16-year-old kid that doesn't shave. In my brain, I'm 16 years old. I want to hang out with my buddies. I want to tease my friends. I want to
Mm.
make fun of them. What did you see today? I want to hear his voice. And it's a great feeling. It really is. And throw on top of it what you guys are doing now where you're introducing people.
Mm.
There's a story I love to tell. I got a phone call. Hey, what are you doing next week or whatever? I'm looking for a tower guy for the Mid-Atlantic. And I'm like, nah, I'm busy. It's like, what do you mean you're busy? What are you fishing with somebody else? I'm like, no, I'm going to Costa Rica. I'm doing a fad trip. What the fuck do you want to do a fad trip for? You get a chance to win a couple $1 million. You want to go down there and catch a bunch of rats? I go, man, I got two brothers from Cuba and one of them is a doctor, and they've never caught a blue marlin before, and they want to catch a blue marlin. They asked me to help them, so we put this fad trip together, and we caught them 19 blue marlins in 2.5
Oh,
days.
holy crap!
Yeah, which was just it was phenomenal, and I'll never forget it because we've become very good friends, and he was telling me about. The first time he tried to come over from Cuba, it was him, his wife at the time, and this guy. They were on a raft and they were trying to come over. Again, this guy's a doctor, but he's coming over with
Wow.
a raft. And then the Cuban Coast Guard got him. And it's like, hey, we got to take you back. There's a storm coming. No, 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 no. We want to make it to America. It's like, listen, there's a real storm coming. We got to go. So him and I were talking. I'm like, well, what year was it? He goes, Hurricane Andrew.
Holy crap!
Oh
Yeah,
no. Good thing you
yeah,
went back.
yeah. So, but it goes back to you're on the boats and you're talking with people and you're getting to know who they are.
Mm.
That's what elk camp is. That's what duck camp is. You're getting to know people.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
you guys, and I really love that you use this word because it means a lot to me. You use the word fellowship. When I go to Canada every year for 6 weeks. We go giant tuna fishing.
Hmm.
And the guy that I share my cottage with, uh, he's he's a world-renowned captain. He's older now. He's 72 years old. He was on the first American boat to go to Venezuela back in the 70s.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
this guy is legit. He's the man. And one of the things, and I'm not trying to hide his name. I don't know why I'm not saying it. It's Captain Ross Clark, Flash. And one of the things I love is uh, we and this is just me and him because he's the one that introduced me to the Bible. So
Mhm.
I love that he tells me the stories, you know, and I love the fellowship. And then I most of the people that come up with me are my friends, uh, different groups of guys. I'm not in that business. I like going up there and fishing with the guys up in Canada, and I open it up to my friends, whoever wants to come. I had a guy, one of my friends, hey, you got some dates? Yeah, I talked to Curtis. We got some dates here. and he's like, some of my guys from work said they want to do it. I show them my pictures. I'm like, well, take your pick. And uh, I, that's what I do it for. Number one, because it's fucking hot in Florida. So I get to go up there and it's nice. And you get to catch big giant tuna. Uh, and it's 40 degrees in the morning. And I call my girlfriend and I'm like, how's it going? Oh my God, it was like 99 degrees down here. I'm like, man, I'm in a hoodie. I'm really loving it. And I caught three fat tuna today. But my biggest thing is the fellowship that I get to have with Captain Flash, and then I got one buddy of mine. He's a retired baseball player, and he brings a lot of people up, and they'll come to the house, and we just hang out and tell stories. Last year, there professional baseball players, and they came up fishing with us, and two of them were getting ready for the Olympics.
Mhm.
And was it the Olympics? No, the Pan Am Games. I'm sorry, the Pan Am Games, and they were playing for Team Canada. And so they're in my backyard playing catch because they had to work out every day. And these are all professional guys, man. And uh, again, to me, they're just my friends. They're playing catch. They're like,
Mm.
"Fly, you want to play catch?" I'm like, "You motherfuckers are throwing like 90 miles an hour. I'm not gonna play catch with you, dude. Just because I'm Cuban, that doesn't mean it's fucking genetic. You know, it's not fucking genetic. I'm gonna sit here and then Captain Flash shows up. He goes, "Holy shit, can you hear the ball?" I go, "Yeah, it whistles through the air." When there's no people cheering, you can hear the ball. And it's to me, it's cool because again, they're just kids like we are. It's just
Mhm.
they were very fortunate that thing that they decided to do as a kid was able to pay their bills. It's no different than the way I look at it, where the one thing that I loved as a kid, I've been able to pay my bills.
Mm.
It's no different. And that's the way I look at it, and that's the way I look at this sport and everybody I meet in it. Hey, listen, we're all the same. We just like to go catch fish and we like to spend time with our friends. And to me, that's the important thing. And listen, when I was a younger man in my 20s, I had to catch more than everybody else. And I'd get pissed if I didn't. But now I still want to catch more than everybody else. I'm not going to lie. But I also, did we have a good time today? Did we have
Mm.
fun? Did, somebody tell me a story of, hey, my kid just got picked for varsity, or hey, my kid made the honor roll, or hey, man, I just found out before I came up here, my wife's pregnant. We're gonna have our first kid. To
Mm.
me, that's what fishing's about. That's why I do it, and that's why when Greg reached out to me about what you guys are doing, that's what set with me.
Yeah.
That's not somebody getting pregnant for the first time. That wasn't it. No. But the fact that you guys have found something you like and you want to share it, you're trying to find a way to share it. I didn't ask how the business runs. I didn't ask how you make money. I found out that you guys are trying to figure out a way to share it with one new person every day. And to me, that's very, very cool. So that's when I said, fuck it, dude. Tell the story on the podcast. Come tell everybody what you're doing because really, um, man, before you know it, you could have 50 of these clubs all over the country doing it. And it doesn't always have to go out of town, or you could, Dusty, I'm so gonna pick on you here, bro,
Do it,
because
man.
you're Gen X like me. So growing up, fishing clubs were a really big deal.
Hmm.
Like where I live here in West Palm Beach, we have the second oldest fishing club in the country. And fishing clubs were a big deal because they didn't have Snapchat and Instagram and all this other ways to communicate. And um and Eric and Greg, you guys are in the IT space, so you understand what's going on with AI, and everything's getting so automated, and a lot of times you're calling call centers and you're not even really talking to a real
Hmm.
person. People don't realize how much stuff is being automated. But, and this is the giant but, there will be very quickly, there will be a need and a want for people to talk and hang out with real people.
Hmm.
And what you guys are doing is that you guys are putting people together. And listen, it could end up being 20 people, 50 people, 50,000. You don't know. God knows, and I'm not saying that facetiously. He knows. I can't tell you. But what you guys are doing is something that is so genuinely basic in our um, DNA, which is we're social creatures
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
we like to be around people. And what you're doing is you're putting people together. You're creating a Facebook group, but in real time, man. That's really what you're doing, which is really, really cool. And the days of, oh my gosh, it's an international flight. No, fuck it. Man, from Charlotte to Guatemala City or Costa Rica. It's a straight shot, man. You don't even have to connect anymore.
It's so easy. It's, I love that you pick up on this, like one of our core values is community. And like that's what we're creating. It's like being part of curating and enabling a community. And it becomes fellowship, and then it becomes like real deep relationships. Like I've had some of the best, deepest conversations on the boat when you can't look at your freaking phone and do a text or anything else. And a couple years ago down in Costa Rica, one of my hunting buddies, one of Tara's cousin, her husband, uh, he and I were sitting out in the back of the boat going super deep on faith. And the girls are, we're on the ride back in, a great day. The girls are in the salon. And he and I are just talking about, the role God's played in our life and like all these things. And that community is irreplaceable, and we are wired that way as a people. And so the more screens we have in front of us, the more desperately we need those places and those spaces to do it. And for me, it's about being part of that, and it's about curating that, and it's about enabling it. Like one of my great friends and mentors says, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And like when you get the right people, you can see a future that you want to be part of. And you up your game, you up level based on the people you spend time with. And when you get to do this and do this well with other people who are excited and passionate or raw and open and authentic and just willing to be real, I don't know. I find so much authenticity when you take away all the trappings and distractions of this world and get to a place and a space where you can actually connect. Like that's what it all means to me. And maybe I'm an old Gen Xer and like that shit matters, but I think it matters more now than it ever has.
There's something you said, and I want to expand on it, is you use the word faith.
Mm.
And because I travel so much, I meet people of a lot of different faiths. And uh, and most people that know me or have followed me or I've spent time with, they know that I spend a lot of time in the Middle East.
Hmm.
Uh, I have a business partner over there who's turned out to be like a brother to me. He has four sons that they all call me Uncle Fly. And uh, again, their life is based on faith.
Hmm.
And I was just talking with him the other day, and I've said this. This isn't something new for me. It's just something that I like to share with people because in this world that we're in, that everybody seems so fucking divided.
Mm.
Uh, that people spend more time focusing on what we don't have in common instead of what we do. And uh, I listen, I've been going over to the Middle East now for almost 10 years. Maybe it's been 9. So, again, you sit on the back of the boat and you have some pretty good conversations, man. And sometimes it's not. Listen, I remember one time I went on a hike with a bunch of college kids, and they all call me Uncle Fly. And they all asked me, what's it like living in the United States? What's it being like a college person in the United States? And then I get to ask them, okay, tell me about Islam. You know, why is this? Why is that? I don't understand it. Explain it to me.
Hmm.
And so when I was talking to my business partner the other day, and I told him the way I described it, we're all of the same tree. We just might be on a different branch.
Hmm.
We're, we're,
Hmm.
we're all of the same tree. We're all created the same. We're just, you're in a different branch. Or we're all on the same highway. You're just in a different lane than I am. That's all. We're going to get to the same place. And when you talk about, again, and you go back to fellowship, it doesn't matter which one you believe or how you believe it. It's the fact that we get to spend time together knowing that we share this. We share this same love for something. And
Hmm.
to me it's a really, really big thing, that I love to share. And in my conversation with Greg that first time, it was like, oh yeah, we definitely got to talk about this. This is something because again, where I'm gonna blame this on the media. I'm not gonna blame it on the people. I'm gonna blame it on the media. It seems like everybody is pulling apart.
Hmm.
When you take the time to talk to somebody, everybody wants to come together. Everybody really just they want somebody to put their arm around you.
Hmm.
Hey man, how you doing today? How's your mom doing? How's your wife doing? You know, talk to me. What'd you catch? So, what you guys are doing, I not only can I relate to it, I appreciate it, and um, yeah, no, I love it, and it's based around the one thing that I love more than anything else, which is fishing. You know, I my life wouldn't be my life if it wasn't for fishing, man. So you guys are trying to share it with people. I think that's cool as shit.
It's fun. It's just fun. It's I don't know.
What do you young bucks think? Listen, let me. I know how old you are because you told me what model you are. Great, and I shoot up. I don't know why I wave up here because the screens keep popping around, so it confuses the shit out of me. Greg, how old are you?
I'm a spry 42.
Okay, and Christian, you are.
35.
And then I know, Eric, you're 45. So deduction. Your 40th birthday was on 2020, so it's just deduction.
I'll
So
be 45 in
Is
20 days.
in
Yeah.
20 days, whoa, should we sing you happy birthday?
Not yet.
not
Uh,
yet.
listen, if I would have known that, I would have jumped out of a cake for you, bro.
We
So,
got time.
how about a burger? Can I get you a burger?
Oh,
Those crush
Nice.
your nipples. Go
How,
ahead.
how about we all need a dance of Jesus?
There we go.
there you go.
So I have all these little things that people have given me through the years, and I always put them. How about a bowl of ramen?
There we
Wow.
go.
Yeah. So anyway, um, no, and again, Dusty, I picked on you a little bit because as you get older, you realize I want to spend more time spending time as opposed of competing with everybody. I want to spend the time. Whatever. Did we catch something? I don't give a shit. But I got to spend time with you guys. That to me um, is the important thing. Where
Yes.
you get to spend the time with the people and get to know them. I love the fact that you guys bring your wives to the events. In my events that I have, in the tournaments that I put on, I don't ever give out individual angler awards. But I do, because listen, it's a team sport. Fuck you guys. We won this as a team.
Yep.
Except I give out junior angler and top female angler.
Mm,
Nice.
And
love that.
my reasoning is junior angler, we got to invest in the future generations.
Yep.
And female angler, when mom goes fishing, everybody goes fishing.
Yeah. I
Hell
like
yeah.
that.
Listen, as men, we know it. We've all been guilty. No, no, no. Son, this is going to be a man's trip this time. I'll get you next time. Mom never says that. Mom, I want to go fishing. Okay, grab your shit. Let's go. So if you're encouraging that, you're opening that up, that is what's going to help the next generation.
Hmm.
You know, so I love that you guys of your members, how many are women? Percentage wise.
20, probably 20, 25.
Yeah, I was going to
Good
say
bit.
25.
Out of how many?
30.
So you got more women than men?
No, not
No,
more women
50%
than
or
Oh, okay,
25%.
okay, 50%.
25%. Yeah.
Okay. No, no. I was looking as a percentage basis,
Yeah.
how many, because um, for me it's twofold. Number one, uh, you're encouraging families to fish. But when you
Mm.
got 50% women, that at least lets me know you've created an environment that women are comfortable to partake in, which
But
is which is huge. Like you were talking about the dirty toilet on the
yeah.
boat that we're not mentioning. Um,
not
but
Kicklet.
it's those kind of things that a clean restroom, a clean boat, a safe environment. When I say safe environment, I don't mean getting mugged or anything like that. You feel safe. You don't feel like you're going to be bothered. You don't feel like you're going something wrong is going to happen. You're on vacation to go fishing. You guys have created an environment that, hey, I want to be a member of that club.
Well, to that point, Fly, with our lifetime member, we were talking about this, and actually we're going to roll this across the membership. We created an honor code because we want the behavior of everyone to be held to a level that makes it safe. Like I want my wife to go on a trip, and I want her to feel safe. I want her to feel like part of it, not having somebody who's getting drunk and going crazy and making an environment where she goes, "Is this what it's like on these types of trips?" No, it's got to be something where we're creating a space for that fellowship. That's the level of detail that we think
No,
about.
I love it. I absolutely do. It's I again, everybody knows that I don't drink. And I don't listen, I don't mind if you're drinking. You want to have a
Mm.
beer? Have a beer. You want to get drunk? Get drunk. I just don't want to be around drunks.
Mhm.
I'm not here to babysit you. I'm here to go fishing with you. And knock yourself out. You want to have three, get a little loopy, and we laugh at you and paint a mustache on you. I'm okay with that. No, I don't want to make it where it's no fun and
Mhm.
now people, and then you miss a day. Somebody misses a day of fishing because they're hung up. Then why'd you leave?
Yeah.
Why'd you leave home?
Fly, I have
You
to
know,
ask you
Oh, you got two
I
people.
was I was gonna mention real quick, back on the lady anglers. What really excites me is that so many of them come on multiple trips. So
Mm.
it's not just a wife coming along and saying, "Yeah, I had a great time. That was cool. Thanks for the experience." Almost every single one of these have asked to join more trips or have scheduled more trips. And one of our first members was a couple. They were dating at the time, and we actually met them in Isla Mujeres. We were down there fishing with a buddy captain of ours out of the Keene fleet, and they were there same week. Turns out they're from Charleston as well. They live a couple miles down the road. Never met them before, and for years they came on trips with us, and I never met them on US soil until their wedding. So we got to
Really?
go to their wedding, and they invited Eric and myself. We got to celebrate with them. They still try to come on trips, but just welcome their first newborn. So we've been
Congratulations.
able to experience that, right, and take them on so many journeys. And she is just a badass angler.
Oh
So,
yeah.
shout out to Catherine.
Cool. Awesome. Now, Dusty, you were about ready to say something?
I was going to ask you a question, and I'm really curious about this. What is the track or the tune that you got to drop on the boat to raise the fish? I want a secret song that is like the magic fish finder. I want to know.
Okay. So most of the time, I don't listen to music on boats just because I like to talk, and it's already loud enough with the engines and all that. But I do have a song that we literally won a tournament to. So when you mention a song,
I want to know, man.
I, I'm gonna give everybody one opportunity to think of an artist to see if you guys come close. Every just throw anything out. Listen, don't spend 20 minutes thinking. Just what's the first, Greg? What's the first artist you think of?
I'm going to go curveball and think Frank Sinatra.
Oh, nice. What about you, Dusty?
I was going Zeppelin.
Nice, Chris.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang. My man, bro. Listen, mad love, mad love. How about you, Eric? Give me a guess.
I'm gonna go with Nelly.
Wow. Okay, and I'm really gonna give you guys. Who said Zeppelin? Okay, I'm gonna give you props because you were the closest in time frame. Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Oh, burn,
Ooh,
baby, burn.
Oh my gosh. We I'll never forget this. We were in Venezuela. This was the year was 2000. We were fishing the old La Guara shootout. And my boss, Jim Lambert, we flew down there to fish with Jim Cleary. Both of them, rest their souls. Jim Cleary, old White Fang. And we had a cameraman on board. And this was before any phone, flip phone. This was back in the day, big old. He's like, no, I wanna start documenting all the stuff I do. And my boss at the beginning of the day, it's like, listen, we're well behind. This is going to be really, really hard. But I feel that if we catch 5 blue marlins, we would have a chance to win this tournament. The whole thing was on video. And every time we played Johnny Cash Ring of Fire, we'd get a bite until we caught 5 and
Holy crap.
won the tournament. And won the tournament. We caught 5 that day and won the tournament. Oh my God. It was so amazing. So anytime somebody asks me for a tune, I always think of Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
It's hard to go wrong with that.
Oh my God, bro. Man
He's
in Black? You can't go wrong with Johnny Cash.
no, and it's especially his later stuff. Like when he anyway, I could go deep on Johnny Cash. Eric has a song, and I know why Eric mentioned Nelly. That's why that's why we're named Country Fly. It's because
Oh,
the fish
like,
fly.
like country
Eric,
grammar.
you nailed it.
Yeah.
so that our secret sauce in winning tournaments is the baseline of Nelly, specifically country grammar. So we've executed a couple different times on that. And when we came up
Great
with
tune.
oh, fantastic tune. So when we came up with the idea that we're actually going to make this into a company, we were sitting on the back of the Tigerfly boat, as Dusty talked about earlier, listening to country grammar. And then we said, how cool would it be if we named the company Country Fly, based off of our 2 favorite things, being on the Tigerfly and listening to Nelly's country grammar, and Country Fly was born.
Wow.
It's
I'm
it's a
glad
fish raiser.
I'm glad you brought up music because smell and sound have a way of bringing you back to certain things. Like you asked me about music, what's my what's the music? And I'm like, well, it's Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash. And there's certain songs oh I'm trying to remember. It was Kid Rock, but it was I Want to Be a Cowboy. The the day we broke the world record for sailfish in one day. It's no longer the world record; it's been beaten, but it's still the Atlantic record. We caught 120 in a day, and we were in Isla Mujeres,
Hmm.
and again, we were very fortunate. Everybody was catching fish, but the fleet was like 2 miles away. You can see them; they were catching them. We were just catching more. And we were just lucky. We found another body of fish. It was a totally different body of fish. And I hadn't seen so many fish in my life. I mean, to this day, I bet you I saw somewhere between 14, 1,500 sailfish that day.
Oh man.
Oh my
And
God.
I mean, free swimming, chasing sardines. It was cool. So, uh, finally, when they stopped biting, at least they stopped biting for us. Uh, and the smoke settled. We caught 120, and we went in, and it's like, man, this is a new record. Um, Back then, nobody flew flags in Mexico, but we're like, fuck it, 120 is 120. So we put it on a bed sheet on a pillowcase, and we put it up in the rigger, and then we blared the music. I Want to Be a Cowboy by Kid Rock coming in. I mean, and everybody, it was towards the end of the day, but we were like one of the first boats. It wasn't like, 6 o'clock. It was like maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock. And we come in and people are like, what the fuck's all the noise? And then they saw the pillowcase. And that's what I always think of.
It's amazing how it brings you back right to that spot that you hear the song and you're immediately transported to that moment in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time I hear country grammar, like I'm like raising fish,
Listen,
tiger fry.
that's what I'm gonna hear country grammar, and listen. I might have to drop a little Nelly tonight.
I,
I might have to, go old school. As soon as you said Nelly and Country Fly, I knew exactly what song it was. And I'm not one of those, listen, I am not one of those artists and songs. I, no, that's not me. I've never been like that. I can't even listen to words on it. Now, can I sing? Son, don't ask those around me. But when in my car, I'm like Pavarotti. I swear, man, I fucking stretch the golden pipes, but you're right. That's what it's all about. Again, it goes back to that having a good time
mm,
um, y- and Costa Rica is such a good place for it because it's calm.
mhm.
It's not, it's not like Eric, I'm throwing you under the bus. It's not like fishing the big rock that always seems to be rough. You know,
Always rough.
it's
Yeah.
fucking always rough. Some of the greatest ass kickings I've been a part of. Listen, when I started fishing, I was 6'4", blonde hair and blue eyes. Now I'm 4'11" and shriveled up like a fucking raisin. But Costa Rica's good for listening to music.
Mm.
Costa Rica's really good for listening to music.
I do have to give a shout out to Denton's son, Jeremiah. He's the one that taught me about Nelly's baseline, raising the fish on the Insano. So shout out to Denton and Jeremiah Williams again.
Well, listen, next time you speak with them, please send them my regards uh like I don't even want to say that I talk highly of them because I'm just telling the truth.
Yep.
I really they're a great, great family.
They're both will
They're
be here in Charleston this summer, all summer long. So you should come up and visit us in Charleston. Christian and I've got a little boat. We can take you.
I think I was talking to Greg when I talked to him the other day that I said I was this close, like in '05, of moving to the Low Country. I wanted to move to Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, there you go.
Come visit. Come
I,
visit. Greg and I
I,
both live in Mount Pleasant.
I absolutely listen. If I go to Mount Pleasant, I literally would have to call a week ahead to notify people. I'd have to be up there for too fucking either that or I'd have to throw a party because I have so many dear, dear friends up there. I love it. Do you guys know Little Cricket?
The
Okay.
gas
Gas
station?
station?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Trey
Trey.
McMillan from Low
uh,
Country Oysters.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
I've known Little Cricket. I know him as Little Cricket. Uh, he was like 16 years old and he's like 6'1", and again, I'm like 4'11". So, um, I met him when he was a little kid and he was running this express boat. And then I'm sure you guys know Little Worm, Newt, Newt
Oh, Newt.
Cagle.
Yeah. Kegel.
Well, when I met him, he had these ugly ass white glasses and this big old fro, this blonde hair fro, like Big Worm on Friday. So I call him Little Worm.
That's hilarious.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, yeah, I started going up there in like '99. Like I would when I'd have off moons. I'm in my 20s. I don't want to stop fishing just because it's the dark of the moon in St. Thomas. I started going to St. Thomas in 1996.
Oh, wow.
So, uh, you're going. Then you come home for 10 days. Well, I don't want to sit around and do nothing. I'll go up and I'll go fish the mega dock, or I'll go up and fish, um, Georgetown. Whoever wants to go fishing, I'm going fishing. And so I got to, and it's an easy drive from South Florida. It's only like 7 hours, 6.5 if you're excited,
hmm.
and I was until he just passed away. I was dear friends with Mr. Pearlstein, Edwin
oh,
Pearlstein.
my wife used to work for him.
Oh, really?
Yep, she was his marketer at Pearlstein.
Yeah. Listen, Edwin, I met Edwin and actually I met Lee Alonso, his captain,
Yep,
in
the old
90,
bud band.
no, yeah, 92. They had the old Hatteras. They
Yep.
they were coming back from Mexico and they had a guy on the boat. I swear he looked like Fidel Castro. He looked just like fucking Fidel Castro. But then I got to know Lee and when I moved down to Venezuela, Lee at the time didn't speak any Spanish, so he was kind of like a puppy dog on me. English being my second language, he was like, man, I ain't leaving without you. You can get me out of trouble. So I started telling everybody he was my dad. And they're like, how is he your dad? I said, well, he went to Cuba. He met my mom. Things happened. I was born. He didn't know. So I looked for him. And they're like, how did you find him? I said, I went on Oprah Winfrey. And they're like, who's Oprah Winfrey? I go, that's like the American Christina. And I said, I'm looking for my dad, and she found him. So that's my friendship with Lee and Mr. Pearlstein. And we'd go hang out and go fishing in Venezuela back in the day. And he was a great guy. I think I spoke with him maybe like 3 months before he passed.
Mm.
Yeah, Mr. P was the best. We're
He was
still good friends with
fucking,
Susan, his daughter, and the whole family for sure.
yeah, it's great, great fan. Listen, when you're selling Budweiser in Charleston, you're the fucking man, dude. You are the man.
Cannot go wrong doing that at all.
Mm.
No, listen, if you're right before they put you down on Earth, and like, what would you like to be in the future? What would you like to grow up and be? I'd like to be the Budweiser guy in any of the Carolinas, man. I don't care, north or south, east, west, Outer Banks, it don't matter. I just want to sell Budweiser because everybody's gonna love you.
I'm laughing. One of my good friends runs a very large beer distributor here in the Carolinas, and he's a popular guy.
Yeah. I have another friend of mine. She used to be a salesperson for the Miller Lite distributor out of Charleston. And my God, what was the name of that boat she worked on? Anyway, she's since gotten married and she lives out in Bermuda now with her husband and her kid. And everybody knew her as the beer lady. Everybody knew
Not
her as
bad.
the, yeah, it was great.
Lead Distributors is the Miller Lite one here.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was it.
Yep.
My man,
It's
see?
funny.
Miller
We had
Coors. Yep.
one of our
Very
lifetime
nice.
members from on the Guatemala trip has his own tequila distillery. He became pretty popular amongst the group this trip.
Well, and we're talking with him, and he goes, why don't we? I'll host a tour at the distillery, and then we'll go fishing. Like, can we make it can we create an opportunity to do this? And we're like, yeah, we can do that. We can figure that out, man. Like,
The,
so that's that fellowship, man. It's just
the,
like
the
you
tequila
bring
guy.
the tequila
Yeah.
guy.
The tequila guy.
Who said they were
What is,
listening to the Ryan podcast, Ryan McKenzie?
Eric.
I think it was
Eric,
Eric.
Oh, I did.
did
Yeah.
did you hear what I did to my girlfriend with the tequila?
Yes.
Yeah. She's a tequila drinker. All this is tequila. And she's not a big drinker. Not at all. She might have like one drink every other month. Or if we go out to dinner, um, she'll have a cocktail. She'll have like a spicy margarita. It's tequila, it's her drink. And one day she was cleaning out, and everybody's heard this on the podcast. So everybody, I'm sorry if you're hearing it, but for those of you that didn't hear it, she's pouring them into little cups, and she's very scientific, puts a little cube of ice in there, and she's sipping them. She does all the clears, and she's getting ready to get into the reposado and the gold. I'm like, hey, listen, if you're going to do a real test, it's got to be blindfolded. You can't see it because you have prejudgment. She goes, you're right. She goes, why don't you pass them to me? I'm like, yeah, this is what I wanted. So I give her the cup. She tastes it. Yeah, that's pretty good. I put the cup down, but I grab the same cup and I give it to her. Oh yeah, this one's better.
Uh,
The same cup a third time. Second one was definitely better. There was like 7 cups, but every one got tasted 3 times. It was Sunday. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like, babe, just sit down. I'll bring you dinner. Yeah, nobody is safe from my practical jokes, man.
I love
Nobody
that.
is safe from my practical jokes.
But
Um,
what's the best practical joke you've pulled out on the water?
on the water?
Yeah.
Shit, man. Hold on, let me think. Now here's a question. Did it have to happen on the water, or did it have to happen once
Ooh.
the boat was untied?
Hmm,
Because we can go back to practical jokes that I've done on the dock, and
that works.
that what?
Yeah.
The docs count.
Yeah. Doc's fair game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna break them down into two. I'm gonna break them down to untied and at the dock. How many people have done the quarter in the hose trick? Have you heard the hose? Okay, so you get a quarter, you take off the nozzle, and you put a quarter in the hose. So you have water pressure, but when you squeeze it, there's no water. So
Hmm.
people fucking freak out. They go crazy. Well, then when you want to up that, you get a washer with a tiny hole in the middle. So you have full pressure, you squeeze it, but it only dribbles.
Hmm.
It's like a 60-year-old guy that has to pee. It just dribbles. And so we were doing this all summer. Randy Yates and myself, we were doing this all summer to everybody on a dock up in Ocean City, Maryland. Well, while everybody was fishing, tide got really low. We're like, hey, how about if we go under the dock and just shut the water to the whole dock? So we did. We shut the dock. We shut the water to like 8 boats. And everybody, they're taking apart the whole hose. Everybody's taking everything off because we didn't fish that day. So it's like, what did these motherfuckers do? They never, never, they finally, You motherfuckers, what did you do to us? We're crying. We're crying. And then, ooh, we dressed up somebody's as a tea party once. Somebody's boat up as a tea party. We put one of those kids' plastic tables on a hardtop and put the
I
full tea set,
like
uh,
that.
and then grabbed everybody's shoes and hung them from the rod tips, so they just floated horizontally in, you'd have the belly band up on the bridge, but you had everybody's flip-flops and shoes just kind of floating. We did that at night. When they woke up in the morning, man, were they fucking pissed. Were they fucking pissed. But the best one, once somebody untied their boat, and all you kids that are listening, if you're going to do this, make sure you have to use white beans. Don't use black beans. Don't use red beans because they stain. I learned that the hard way. You get about a pound or 2 pounds of beans and you put it up in the tower and you make a little pile and it sits perfectly as you're just going out the cut. But once you push it up to get up on the plane and the boat rides back, it literally rains beans into
Mm,
the cockpit, dude. It fucking rains. People don't know if it's like the end of the world.
I like that.
Yeah. So, listen, and trust me, I've had plenty played on us too, man. Oh my God, we had an even better one out at sea. That was a good one. Uh, Jim Cleary, again, rest his soul. Jim Lambert. We had one of those fucking epic days that nobody else saw fish like we saw fish. I think we were like 8 for 14 in St. Thomas and raised like 21. And Jim Cleary came to my boss and said, "What the fuck are you guys doing that you're seeing so many fish?" And my boss, out of nowhere, we're eating dinner. He goes, "Oh, well, I paid this guy to create this electronic device that we put in the water and it brings the fish up." And we looked at my boss like, "Where is this fucking electronic device that you speak of? We haven't seen anything." So he describes this thing to a T. We plug it into 12 volt, to what, I mean, just derives the whole thing. And he goes, "Listen, I have to fly back home tomorrow night for one night for chemo. I'll come back. Why don't you use it after I'm done fishing tomorrow afternoon?" It's like, "Boss, what are you going to do?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm going to tell him a blue marlin ate it, but that'll give you guys a day to figure out what to do." It's like, now it's on us. So, when you got these long stretch of fishing, you got like 16 days in a row, 17 days in a row. You get one day, just a day off because he's got to go to chemo. No, we're like running around St. Thomas trying to figure out what we're going to do to tease this guy. So remember those little balls that had the tails behind it that would just chase
Mm,
around?
Mm, yeah,
So we
yeah.
bought one of those and we put it inside 2 cups. We had put a piece of 500-pound mono on it, taped the 2 cups together and put a skirt on it. So as that thing kind of wiggled inside, it would make it kind of do like a hula hoop from side to side to side. So when you hold it up, it would do this fucking wiggling thing, wiggling thing, wiggling thing. So it's like, yeah, I think we can get away with that. We as a
mm,
group, as a team, we came up, yeah, I think we can get away with that. So we used to leave the dock at like 4:30 in the morning. So there was no way we are going to go to his boat. We were going to have to float it over to him. And so they get out there and Jim says, "Hey, Eddie, Captain Eddie, tell tell him that we're going to float it over to him." So again, I'm a wise ass and I made some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I got some fruit. I got some candy bars and I wrote a note. "You're going to need food to catch all the fish today." And we put this thing in a garbage bag and we decided to float it over. So we float it to him we're looking through our binoculars and passing this around. We want to see what are they gonna what are they gonna do when they see this? Well, as this thing's coming down the side of the boat and they're ready to gaff it, they raise a fish on their bridge teaser.
Mm.
The fishing gods reached down and they said, "This is a good game. We want to partake in it
Yeah.
too." They raised a fucking blue marlin on that side.
Wow.
So in their brain, that thing works so fucking good, they didn't even have to pull it as a lure.
Uh,
It raised a fish.
I love
And
that.
it was like, no, there's no fucking way. What what is it now? Again, as I'm older, I'm like, oh yeah, the fishing gods are like, oh, this is a good one. We want to play with you guys. Whack,
Yeah.
boom, blue marlin, left bridge.
So you didn't
So,
go make another one.
Yeah.
so
I need one.
we, they lift this thing up after everything settles down. They lift this thing up, and this fucking lure's like doing the merengue, man. Hey, Macarena, and they're looking at it, and we're like, they're gonna put it out, and they put it fucking out. Well, I don't know how long it lasted. It might have lasted maybe 40 minutes before it finally tore apart. It was useless. It was two plastic cups and a Weeble wall ball. Well, at the end of the day, I don't know if it was the deckhand or if it was the captain where they came. Somebody came down. And I think Ronnie Chapman was on the boat. I think they came down and they're like, "Hey man, we highly recommend you don't go down there." Jim Cleary's pretty fucking pissed. And we went out to dinner and we saw Cleary and he was so livid, arms crossed. It's like you had been had. But it was, man, it was one of those great practical jokes, man. We really did. We had, and the list is long. I'm sure if I give it some thought, I can find a bazillion more. I,
That's fun.
yeah,
Those are good
it's,
memories.
yeah, exactly.
What's
Uh,
the wildest thing you've ever seen floating out there?
Mm.
oh, easy, a drone. I'm
Mm.
not talking about one of these fucking DJI drones. I'm talking a U.S. Navy drone.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what else I saw was a floating island off the Dominican Republic. It was a clunk of um, bamboo trees. From the distance, we thought it was a longline boat that sunk with all the high flyers hanging out.
Mm.
Ended up being, I don't know, probably about 200 bamboo shoots straight up in the air. Ball, probably the size of like the root ball, probably the size of a Suburban.
Mm.
And
Wow.
more Dorados and Wahoos than you could ever
Yeah.
imagine.
Oh, yeah.
We were hand lining Dorados. We 500-pound
Free
test with
gaffing them.
no free gaffing, but 500-pound test and uh, a ballyhoo on a hook. Yeah,
That's fun.
it's it's funny you talk about hand lining. I just posted a picture from Clarencetown. I was hand feeding sharks in Long Island, Bahamas, and I was just going through dock lines. I just
Mm.
yeah, the guy that I was with, my buddy, the captain, we get to Chubb a couple days or the next day, and he's like, "Hey, put some fenders out on the left side." I says, "Yeah, I got two." He goes, "Well, go grab the other ones and put them out there." I says, "I can't." And it's like, "What do you mean you can't?" I says, "I used all those lines." "What do you mean you used all those lines?" "Well, remember yesterday when I was feeding the sharks? Yeah, those were the lines for the fenders, man." Like, what are you doing? And here's the thing. It's not like I was a young 20-year-old kid. I was like 41 years old. I was a grown-ass man. I knew what I was doing. I'm like, I gotta save these two. With two, I can fend off on a floating dock. That's enough for me. I fucking burned through everything else. I
That's
burned through
great.
everything because I wanted to feed the sharks. Again, I'm just a 16-year-old kid that likes to have a good time, man.
That's awesome.
So,
That's fun.
hey, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what is the best way? What's your website? Give me all your information. Give everybody your information.
Yeah, it's the best thing. So what we wanted to do, because the whole country grammar thing, is we actually go, if they go to countryfly.vip, they can download our Spotify playlist. So we put that out there for everybody. They can learn about us. We'll send them the that playlist. We got an opportunity for the first folks that register. They can get one of our release flags. We have custom made release flags. They want to learn more about us, our trips, countryfly.com, but go get the playlist. Go get a little Nelly, a little custom Spotify Fishing Jams playlist, countryfly.vip. That's the best way to get us. And we'd love to talk about fishing.
Here's a question. Can you provide me with that link so I can put it in the whenever? It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be right this second, because by the time all this stuff processes, there's no way I'm staying up that late.
Yeah.
For those people that are listening, I don't know what time you're listening to. Other than people that are on the other side of the world, this may be the latest one I've done because I'm assuming all you guys got day jobs. You
Yeah,
know,
Yeah, great
so
sense.
for now.
as soon as you gave me the
For now.
time, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a side hustle. I like it. I like it. But listen, at the same time, one of my podcasts I did with Timmy Dean in Australia, it was 5 o'clock in the morning for me, and it was 6 in the evening for him. So he was drinking a
Oh,
rum
cool.
drink, and I was drinking a cup of coffee. So I don't mind. Um, I absolutely love just telling a good story. And again, as a business owners, you guys know there are no hours, man. There are no hours. So
Yeah,
I'm glad that I've been able to do this. But if you can give me that link so I can put it in the description, so anybody that wants to download the music and get to know, yeah, listen, I don't want to go fishing with somebody I don't like their music. I want to know what kind of music they listen to. They might not listen to something I like, you know? Even though lately I've gotten into some weird, I went fishing in Europe this year and they had that like this classical opera.
really.
Oh my God. This was the shit.
Mm.
I was stretching out the golden pipes, dude.
There you
I
go.
didn't speak a word of fucking Italian, but I was like, oh man, this is so good. And sometimes I have and I save it on my Spotify. I'm not sharing nobody my Spotify. I listen to weird shit. Uh, I, you can have my podcast side. My music, yeah, it's what I like to listen to when I'm walking through the airport.
Mm.
That's where I really listen to a lot of music when I'm walking through the airport and you're tired, you've been on a plane for 14 hours. I'm like, oh my God, I need a cup of coffee. What do I need before that? Oh, yeah, maybe gangster rap, maybe a little trance, maybe oh, my man Eric doing professional. Check out our website. Yeah. And Curtis, I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna put it over here where I can't forget it. Again, Dusty, you know what it's like at our age, we forget all kinds of shit.
Yep. I emailed it to you as well. So
Okay,
you
okay,
are rocking and rolling.
okay, perfect. Perfect. I like the way you guys did that quietly in the chat, but yeah. Listen, the way I look at it is we're just sitting here having a conversation, have a good time, and it, yeah, it's funny. I had somebody reach out to me about. Oh no, I was being interviewed, and they're like, "Hey, we want to give you the 15 questions that we want to ask you." I'm like, "Don't give them to me. There, I don't want to think about it. Ask me, and let's. I want. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't like that. Be normal. I
Just
like.
have a conversation.
Yeah, I like to be me. And if you don't like me, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Amen, brother.
I might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm definitely a lot of people's shot of tequila. So guys, nobody hang up yet, but I want to say thank you for joining me. I really appreciate, first of all, I appreciate you guys sharing your story with me and everybody else. That means a lot to me because you're and I tell everybody and anybody that's listening to it, I truly, truly mean it at the bottom of my heart. If you're adding value to my industry, I'll help you any way I can. If you're adding value to my industry, especially if I see that you're adding value, you might not realize it, and I'm old enough and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah, I want to help you. I'll give you a platform to talk about it. And now I got a chance to meet all of you guys. And I look forward to maybe having some low country oysters
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
with little cricket or yeah, who knows? I've had a bunch of people. What are you doing this summer? Come up here. Maybe I might just do like a road trip. I don't know. Even though
Make it happen.
I don't have time to do road trips anymore. That's the whole thing. A day of driving is tough. It's not that it's tough. It's just it burns into the calendar fast. Unless I'm only doing like 4 hour jaunts, and that's different. But my jaunts seem to be long. But
Well, you just have to promise if you do make it up to low country.
no, 100%. Listen, I will definitely let you know if I make it up there. I'll definitely give you guys a call, and maybe this gives me a reason. Yeah, you know,
I'll be
I
presumptive. I've already circled your name on on a big member trip sometime. So
would
like
you
you're going
just
fishing.
listen, put me on your email list. You guys have. I'm assuming you guys are all fucking tech guys. I know you got a fucking email list.
We do.
I know you got an email list. Listen. You can lie to some people, but you're not going to lie to me. I'll share you a story about an email list here in a bit. So again, guys, thank you very much. Everybody who's listening, I hope you enjoyed their story. If there's nothing else that you take out of this, the one thing I personally would like for you to take out of it is if this is the sport you love, there's ways that you can be a part of it. I mean, you don't have to just go fishing. You can bring other people into it, and and I'm sure these guys would be happy to help you go on a fishing trip or tell you how they did it. And I know listen, I'm an open book to just about everybody. So I probably get 3 or 4 requests a week. Hey, I want to go here. Who do I call? Call this guy. Tell him I sent you. Because if he doesn't call you back, he knows I'm gonna fucking call him up and yell at him.
I
So,
love that.
everybody, thank you so much, and we will check you guys later.